Okay, I'm going to do something here because this is choppy.
I mean, put them all of them.
Shalom, Karen Rogers. How you doing? What's going on? Welcome. Shalom, Karen Rogers. How you doing? This thing is really breaking up tonight. Hey, Taraya Yisrael. To get a.
You need to fight.
Wind River Indianization. The hardest thing to track
That there's a homicide
is the truth from the writer of Sicario and Hello.
Unionized, that Nissan plant be unionized. And Iron and I want to talk a little bit and what that means.
Right.
And so let me just give people a little bit of background, down the union. And
So we're talking about a few thousand
this
workers.
is 14 years, a few thousand workers.
Right.
This is over 14 years. 14 years they've been trying to get this vote for a long time. It was United Auto Workers. And they did a lot of good stuff. They did a lot of good stuff, but they didn't win. They didn't win that fight. And I mean, want to say I got something to say about it, but I want to say
Yeah,
about
well, we don't even talk about black employees. A lot of people say,
Uh-oh.
a lot of people say the only way to be successful in black is to own your own. You need to be your own business. No, that's not how America works. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. My mom was a nurse. Nurses union is huge. She retired very well. My uncle, probably the most successful person in my family, was a parole officer, union job out in California. He retired very well in California. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. The problem is being an employee without any back. Without the problem is because there are a lot of white employees who do very well. We have like the biggest employers in Georgia, like Aflac and Emory University, like 40,000 employees. Like that, those are a lot of jobs. Jobs are good things. Both your parents work jobs.
They work jobs.
They work jobs.
They work
Nothing
jobs.
like there's nothing wrong with working a job. If with jobs you can get health care, you can get a vacation. If you work a good job, you can do very well for yourself. Let's not stigmatize jobs. The problem is black people are shunted to bad jobs and then said, well, if you don't like your bad job, you should just start your own. No. To the market because big companies grow bigger by like getting employees. So there are always going to be more employees.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with being an employee. Wrong with being an employee. Consider that we're in captivity with being an employee. There's something wrong with being an employee and you don't know who you are. You know you're an employee, but you don't know who you are or where you're going. What you should be saving for, you should be purchasing. You just think you're supposed to be an American, a black African American consumer. Well, there's no benefit in being a black African American. All you do is consume. You're not doing anything to build any social capital with your nation of people. Work and get paid on Friday or every 2 weeks. And that's it. Keeping, paying the car note, the home note. And that's the vision for your life, is just paying bills. Wrong with being that type of employee. Is something wrong with being an employee and you don't even know you're in captivity? You're in exile. You don't even know it. Because you think you're an American. You think you're an African American. Oh, it's nothing wrong with being an employee. I'm wondering, what kind of bug is this flying around? Is it a mosquito? Is it a fruit fly? What is this? But anyway.
Employees than employers. So the way to redress that power imbalance is to form a union. Active, and that way the bosses maybe doesn't get as much, but all the employees get a good job and get a pension and can retire. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. So don't let employment be stigmatized. Don't let having a job be stigmatized. Just because we get shunted to bad jobs and then we get bullied out of unionizing for those bad jobs to become better jobs. Worker. That's what got Martin Luther King. He was working.
Yeah, the sanitarian, he was going to go do that.
He was going to go say, look, you need your trash picked up. There's nothing wrong with paying people to pick up your trash. Now we're going to pay these sanitation workers right.
Yep.
And that's where our fight should be. Yeah, that's how you put the bullet.
You start trying to get workers their money.
Yeah,
that's when bullets start flying.
We got to stop
trying to get workers their money.
Yeah, we got to stop pretending that black people aren't going to be workers.
Black people are workers.
Yeah, but they get good jobs.
Yeah, but it's just what you want
to
change. You don't want to just everybody be their own boss or everybody have a side hustle. What you want to change is the arrangement between yourself and capital. Or maybe at some point we can have a co-op and we can own a business. It's not about the fact that you shouldn't be a worker. It's what conditions are you working under? What are you earning as a worker?
Right.
What kind of benefits do you have as a worker? Do you feel secure as a worker? Do you have a voice as a worker? That's the important stuff.
My thing is, not only those are all some valid points that she's bringing up. You know who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Israelite? Or do you just think you're an African American or a black person? Hold on a second. Shalom.
Shalom. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing good.
I was just thinking about you. Yeah, I was. Yeah. How's the family?
Everybody's doing good. Anna's getting better.
Wow.
Got out of ICU. We moved into a new room today.
Wow.
And she's blood cells are up. And they still don't see any cancer. But they still working with her lungs. Her breathing is getting better.
Praise the Most High. Praise them. I was just thinking about her today. That's good. Right. 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 Wow. One person said thank you. Said thank you. Right. Right. Wow. 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 It just shows you people are absorbed in themselves. It's absorbed in themselves, man. It's sad. You can't even help people nowadays. Hey, baby, how you doing? Come here. Man, look at you. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just checking it out. Yeah, my daughter just got in from work. Okay. Stay encouraged, brother. Stay encouraged. You and your wife, y'all stay encouraged, man. I'm really happy for y'all. Y'all having some breakthroughs and testimonies. Okay. Thank you. Bye. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Just had a phone call at an awkward time. I wanted to hear from. I actually was thinking about them.
There's a history, a much longer and richer history of Black radicalism in this country than Black capitalism. There's a much long, people go around and say, well,
now I wonder why.
I'm gonna be like the Black Panthers. They gave away food, and I'm a Black capitalist.
No.
They were socialists. The Black Panthers were socialists. Y'all don't want to talk about that. People love to love on the Black Panthers and talk about that they were socialists. And whether or not you like socialism or not, you should at least understand it, history of it in our community, and not act like it ain't true. Not act like it ain't real. Not act like that's not who the Panthers was. Revolutionary socialism. So that's some stuff you should like. Don't get caught up. Like, come on, when these mainstream people tell you something, it's probably false. Like, you can't just accept the Panthers on one hand. I don't want to know anything about socialism. I'm not telling you to be. I'm not telling you to be anything. I'm never gonna tell you to be anything.
Right.
Know your history.
Know your history. Independence are part of our history.
And know about how Black power has moved and how
throughout time.
moved, political power moves. You should know that.
What it is. You shouldn't be talking about capitalism and talking about the Panthers in the same sentence.
Right.
You're not like the Panthers. That's not what the breakfast program was about. It wasn't about making money off little kids. It wasn't about capitalism. It was about profits. It wasn't about just how much money can we make off this little black boy and girl.
Right.
It's about like we in this
Right.
together.
Right.
It was about collectivism.
Right.
I don't know how black people plan on surviving. Like, I don't know how we plan on surviving as a group, but we can't be collective. I don't know. I don't know. I might just go off and just throw the dirt over myself. Y'all think we're gonna just go off? Y'all think we just?
There are many socialistic components to the economy of the Israelites. If you just read in the Bible, there were really all kinds of social, foundational social principles were hallmarks of the Israelite economy. And this is something that black people just don't get with. It wasn't like Marxism or anything like that, because I mean that was rife with corruption. It was a socialistic component of the Israelite economy based on the 10 Commandments, the statutes, laws, and commandments that everybody always talk about. You talk to most Israelites, guess what they really are? They are capitalists. It's the antithesis of the Jewish economy. Capitalism means dog eat dog. The Hebrew economy was do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And great commandment. And love the Most High with all your heart, with all your strength, and with all your mind. Those are the 2 great commandments. Our economy was based on those 2 commandments. So it's no way you could be a capitalist. Is the love of money is the root of all evil. That's what capitalism is. And most Hebrew Israelites and black Christians, guess what we are? We are capitalists. It's no way you can get into the kingdom of the Most High and you cherish capitalistic principles. It's no way you can get in. It's no way. I don't care what you wear or what you don't wear. It's no way you're going to get into the kingdom. And you are a capitalist. No way you can make it. He said it's harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven than it is for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. So capitalism? No, we're not supposed to be capitalists. We're supposed to be people that share, that give, that open up doors for each other. Open a little longer so somebody else can get up in there. That's not the attitude of capitalism. Capitalism is the idea of I get in the door and I slam your fingers in the hinges. That's capitalism. Slam the door on your fingers so you don't get nothing. That's capitalism. And I know we all were raised as capitalists. I get it. The premise on which we go to even get an education is based on capitalism. Go to school, get a good education, go in debt, and spend your rest of your working life paying off student loans, car loans, home loans, and credit card loans, and health care bills. Capitalism. That's of the devil. That's why the Bible tells us, set your affections on things above. What is above? Jerusalem, which is above, is the mother of us all. Israel is above all nations, but we don't want to be above. We want to be on par or below. You could tell the below thinkers. You could spot them a mile away. They think about money. Ask them what they think about capitalism. Ask them what they think about health care, education. Ask them about just practical stuff like that. And I don't care how many scriptures they know, they're going to out themselves as a capitalist. Capitalist, you cannot believe in the, really believe for real, in the statutes, laws, and commandments like you think. You can't. Capitalism is antithetical. The underlining statutes, laws, and commandments, the divine nature. And that's something I was looking at earlier today, the divine nature in over there in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. Divine nature, but you believe you're a capitalist, a dog eat dog. Me, my, and I. How you talk? See, I think a lot of people don't know how these things are interrelated. That's like all you talk about is me, my, and I, but you say you want to serve the Most High. Wait, whoa. Something's not sounding right. Something's off. Me, my, and I, but I love the Most High. Well, something is off then. Something's off because all that stuff don't even go together. Says we supposed to esteem others higher than we esteem ourselves, better than we esteem ourselves. That's totally opposite of the capitalistic principle. The capitalistic principle says I need to esteem myself, esteem anybody else. If I want to get ahead, stay ahead, and keep everybody else under my feet. And I don't believe the Most High is going to bless Israelites thinking like that. I don't believe he's going to bless us. I don't believe he's going to bless us. We're going to have limited success on every hand. And why?
Go out there and we're just going to compete against Jeff Bezos of Amazon. I don't know. And anybody who tells you that, just know that they one brick short of a building. That's all.
Come here, baby.
So, you ready out?
Crushed ice in here. Hello? You probably gonna have to get a small bowl because it can't fit under the ice thing.
Yeah, hi, my name is Linda.
Hello?
Yes, do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to give you guys props for your show. I've been really put on to, your broadcast on YouTube probably the past couple of months, and I've just been watching your videos, and so I really appreciate the fact that you're stressing political education, especially amongst African Americans, because I think it's so important, and it's something that I don't think we realize that in order for real.
I don't think there's a problem with, some of the inner workings of political education, but don't be thinking that you're going to get saved by political education. That's my problem with Yvette. She think that that's going to be her knight in shining armor. Water.
Change to happen, there has to be actual policies in place and not just a lot of propaganda and people, of course,
that's the problem. Policies have been in place,
country, but not understanding really what can be done.
Yeah, that's the problem. Policies have been in place. People blame all this stuff and talk. I got it. Stuff and said, well, we don't have policies in place. But why do you think we've been at the bottom so long? The reason why we've been at the bottom so long, because there are policies in place. And the Most High is backing these policies. That's keeping us down. there's no policy in place. That's why we at the bottom and still at the bottom.
Promote change. And I really appreciate, your comments on affirmative action, particularly how Asian Americans, are now, I guess, so opposed to it in perceiving it as discriminatory, but at the same time, they've also benefited from it as well. Curious as to, what are some of your suggestions around, like, how can, as Black Americans, like, how can we kind of band together and really try to, have government acknowledge that there really does need to be an affirmative action that is just solely for Black Americans, and, the importance of it really shouldn't be something being lumped in with Asian Americans because they surpass this country.
Well, I think it's a basic case. Asian Americans have made it. There's another article in there that shows it like they're surpassing, and there is a wealth gap in terms of Asian Americans too. Right. But they still have classes, and they're surpassing white Americans. Once you made it, in terms of you have your class structure that's similar to whites, why would you need to? It's a very good. Why would you need to be included in African Americans? Why would you need to compete with that? Why do you need to compete with the poorest of poor people when you are better than when you are better than African Americans? I mean, and white Americans in terms of wealth.
Right.
Why do you need to compete with the poorest of people, which is African American? Why do you need our slot? You have made it. If your kid can't go.
Well, let me help you out, Yvette. That you need to keep competing with Black people is because that's the way the Most High has set it up, so we can see our plight. People coming in this country with nothing, being equal to us, and then passing us, and then passing white people, and then still be dipping back in the pot for all kind of benefits that were really supposed to be earmarked for us. The Most High is just letting our enemies just slap us in the face so we could wake up. But are we waking up? No, because we're talking about stuff that we need to get policies and all this kind of stuff. Policies ain't never worked for us. The affirmative action policy has never worked for us. But we're not going to turn to the Most High. Policies and humanism and all these things, we're not going to turn back to the divine nature. When we get the divine nature, the Most High is going to lift this stuff right off of our backs.
Where we go, and there's a slot for African American, and we take your slot, go somewhere else. School, there are other schools that will accept you. Just go somewhere else. Fill out at least 10 applications, and you'll find somewhere to go, because ain't a lot of us excel to that point anyway because of what we're going through. So I think I think what has to happen, we have to start not being afraid to do advocacy in favor of our group. And when you talk about it, that's what's happening. When you see Black people at town halls, when you see us at all these different places, what happens a lot of times is that we're afraid to speak out in favor of us, but nobody else is. And I don't have any personal alliances, but my alliance doesn't include you getting the same affirmative action as me. Okay? Because we don't have an equal background. So I think the beginning of this is those of us who do go out and speak out and have these conversations have to know you have to be willing to advocate specifically for your group as opposed to like all brown people. And I think the beginning of that, let's kill this whole people of color thing. It's just ridiculous. And don't make any sense. It's brown people.
Yeah, like I said before, some people came over on boats. Other people came over on planes.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate
I appreciate it. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this people of color thing and this brown thing, I'm not for all this people of color thing, brown thing, Black people, African American, Pan-Africanist. I'm not for all these titles. We're Israelites. We're Israelites. We're Israelites. Now, if I could get Pan-Africanists to compromise with us being Israelites, that's fine. But I'm not going to compromise and say that I'm a Pan-Africanist. Yeah, you could compromise to my position, but I'm not going to compromise to yours. I want to be who I'm supposed to be. Now to something else that some guy made up in his basement.
Planes. Planes are voluntary. You buy tickets for planes. I'm just trying to tell you. Tickets. You decided to come over here. People have all kinds of problems. Oh. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Is it me? Is it me?
It's you.
Oh my goodness. Miss Yvette.
Hey.
Look, this is, you welcome. You might see me in your chat room sometimes. You welcome. I'm from the DMV, and I just want to say, I've a lot of what you talk about, I've experienced firsthand. I've got like firsthand exposure to all of these issues, and I just want to make 3 quick points, and I'm gonna be out. I love your show.
Thank you.
I want to support you. I want to support you monetarily, and I'm in a position to do so. But one thing I want to say right now to everybody out there is that we lack a countervailing force, meaning that we are all talking now, and we have totally discounted the fact that you need a countervailing force. And what I mean is, when we, in the 60s, we had Martin, but we had Malcolm, and the threat of this up, right? Yeah. You need that, because, check me, if you look around the world, countries are blowing up because people are willing to shed their blood for future generations. Talking is what they want. When we begin to understand, and trust me, I know because I'm a child of the Black Power, as long as we don't have a threat of tearing stuff up, we are no threat. And I would not be here if it were not for that threat. And
tearing stuff up, that's fine. That's fine. Tear up some stuff. But don't think that you're going to get free stuff. That's all I'm saying. Tear up some stuff, burn down some cities. If that's what that's not my calling. But if you want to tear up some stuff and burn down some stuff and all this kind of stuff, go, have at it. But guess what? That's not my calling. I'm not built for that. Never was. Matter of fact, I see you do something like that, I'm going to be running the other way. I'm going to be staying away. I don't want to be no. We're never going to get free tearing up stuff. We're never going to get get free tearing up stuff. We're never going to get free burning up stuff. Okay? Never. Show me one time that we got free burning up stuff. Never done it. Never done it.
See, trace my lineage back 8 generations to this country. So, I want to support you. I do a lot. Oh, I want to plug Mrs. Maryland, United States, because I sponsor this.
I got a police in here. Why are you recording Breaking Brown show? Sorry, officer.
So I'm going to be in touch. Okay. I want to try and help you because I love what you're doing.
Okay, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I don't think most people really kind of understand that. Like, I remember there was a conversation that Malcolm X King, and he basically said, like, I don't hate your husband or anything like that. You don't understand. What I'm doing is to help your husband. And he's right in the sense of, like, you know, people knew if they didn't deal with Martin, they had to deal with Malcolm, and that has consequences.
Yeah. Someone's got to be the bad cop. Be like worse cops than us, because we're actually being like, like we're just coming up with facts. Like we're not. I don't even consider myself radical. Like I'm just like
it's just the truth. It's just the truth, man.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like it's just.
He can't really be radical because he's married to a white woman. On his radicalization because he's married to a white woman, and he said most of his friends are white. So yeah, I mean, you know, he's not going to be radical.
It just is what it is. Like, how is that radical? This is just life. This is just what happened. Like, that's a radical thing? Like,
no.
Life being life is radical for you? Okay.
Looking at the way, like, the poverty has been in the system, and it's like the way the generational wealth has been just, like, growing. It's the truth.
Yeah.
No, we're over cut.
A big cut. A really big cut.
Now, let's be honest, you want a lot of the cake.
Yeah. I want a lot of cake. I'm gonna swoosh my face in the cake.
Sometimes I don't even want to eat it.
Yeah, I just want to go there, switch and go back to bed. Like go and just go lay back down. I'm tired. I'm tired from waking up. Goddamn.
I got a 404.
Okay.
These are your people.
Hello. Hello. Hey, Yvette.
Hey.
Hello. Hi. This is Candace.
Hey, Candace.
I'm actually from Massachusetts, but I grew up down here.
Okay.
And I'm visiting my mother here, and I don't like what I see. I'm down here in Stone Mountain, and it looks like a ghost town.
Okay.
Oh my God. Nothing to shop at. I have an uncle like you have an uncle that pilfers. He was in the Vietnam War. He needs his reparations.
Yeah, he's still.
So I feel so badly for the people in the housing market here, because I can see that it's really gone down.
Yeah.
3 years ago. But I'm glad to hear from you. I've been listening to you for 6 months, and it was hard for me to get through.
Oh.
My first time, yeah.
But
so keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And I'm rooting for you. I donate. I already donate.
Thank you. I appreciate
kids in college. That are gonna have to take them to the loan.
If I get $5 out of somebody with 3 kids in college, I am grateful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes. And they did the cheat route. They in college 2 years, and then they did whatever else.
Yeah.
Whoever gave them was UMass.
That's fine.
That's where we're from. So
yeah, that's fine. Thank you, I appreciate it. And she's right. Like when you go down like to like it's just like strip malls and stuff. It's not no real shopping. Like, well, Atlanta's the no, it ain't. Like we ain't got a lot of stuff that we need to have. People in poor communities or middle class communities, like a Church's Chicken ain't nothing to be writing home about. These little strip mall spaces.
No, I mean my mom's in Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
And she did the thing, how we do, move from one neighborhood to the next, trying to get people or whatever. And then they move out further. But hey, it's just what happened. Now the white people that are here don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But good hearing you.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Let you talk to somebody else.
Thank you. I appreciate you calling in. Yeah, people. I think people who don't live in Atlanta. I think people who don't live in Atlanta have a different feeling of what Atlanta is. It's really not all that.
Yeah. People say, well, I thought this is where the black money was.
Really? You thought it was black money?
That's what I was told.
The fact that you thought there was black money at all.
I'm from California, yeah.
No.
I thought I heard Atlanta. That's where the black money is.
A little bit of black money exists in California.
Yeah.
You're going to find Dr. Dre or somebody out there. You're going to find it here. You go in Atlanta, you find black perpetrators.
A lot of black
perpetrators.
Well, because land is cheaper out
They're
here.
going to come up next week. I done been to social events. Yeah, I got this plan. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you get out my way so I can drink? Something.
There's a lot of that here. It's easier to floss, but it would be easier to build if we were about building. Like not building business, building like a politics.
Yeah.
Like Stone Mountain sounds like a good place for a whole lot of black people to move. Because it's got nice
They
houses.
there. They don't move. They there.
Organized. I'm trying to do it.
We there. We strong up in Stone Mountain.
People are asking about what we're doing at the live show. Look. I'm trying to make some moves on this live show. I'm talking to a group that can give us some money next. I'll know then if they. I'm only going once with this white group. If they're jerking us around, I'm going to come back to our people and say, look, we're going to need 10K to put up a live show. So let me try to do this with this group, and if they come right with the money, we're going to have a live show in a few weeks. You're going to hear more about it from me, and it's going to be something else.
Somebody said that. Who said that they finna make some popcorn? This vegan stuff is killing them.
Vegan.
You can have butter on your popcorn.
But if anyone asks, I'm talking about a live studio show in the middle of Black Athens.
I told y'all about that.
Yeah, live studio with a live audience. We take questions from the audience. We take questions from the callers, and it's just breaking ground with studio audience where we do Black politics live in the community.
For the people.
For the people.
We're gonna get out in them streets. Let's not get beat up. Okay.
We'll have a bouncer, and we're gonna need a little bit of extra money for food. We're gonna need a little. I'll be honest.
We gotta be out there for the people.
Yeah, we gotta get a little bit of extra money for the food, so it's gonna be like the budget's gonna go up a little bit.
That's the thing. But yeah, that is the thing. The thing about it is there is I don't know. You have to be out with the people at a certain point. You just have to be talking, and we can talk specifics about what's going on with you right here. Not just some kind of theoretical thing, but just like what's going on with you right here, community. Yeah. So.
Keep going.
Yep.
Hello.
Hey.
Well.
How's it going?
It looks like she's just taking calls right now, but let me see something. Let me go back some.
You have to answer then is that if we lost the most, why aren't we getting the most in terms of redress? Why not? We need the most because we lost the most.
We're just trying to get even. We're not asking like I'm not.
I want to get even, but we don't gotta. You don't gotta make me even immediately. In small amounts of money.
I'm not looking at supremacy. I just want to be even and heard.
Oh, I thought you didn't want to be even.
No, I do. No, I do want to be even. Yeah.
You heard what he said? Married to the white wife. Irony. He said he's not concerned about supremacy. He just want to get control. Never can get control. You're never gonna be able to get control if the Most High don't deal with these supremacy issues. So, this is the way you talk when you're married to a white woman. Oh, no, I don't want to get even. You start saying stuff like that, Even I just,
against everybody except for white men. That is a position that cannot survive in court. And that's the case I made last week. The position that can survive is that we have done specific things to African Americans hundreds of years that has not been consistently, not at all, but consistently done to any other group. That is an argument that can withstand the test of time. That is an argument that can withstand the Supreme Court. That is an argument that can withstand racism. That is an argument that can withstand racists. And that's what I was trying to get through. that time, I've been thinking about it.
Why hasn't
and I
it
realized that
then?
the last episode that I didn't drill down on the cornerstone of this group. This is, I don't want everybody to believe that this is all Asian Americans. No, this is a minority group of Asian.
We're back.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to the feed, but we are back. And so, you know, how do we lose 100 people when we gone for like 30 seconds? I don't understand that. But we back, so let's have a conversation. Before we get cut off again. I don't know who the engineers are. Anyway, I want to talk about this diversity argument, right? And how that argument won't, before we got cut off, I was talking about diversity and how the diversity argument doesn't withstand the test of time. Like it is not going to, you cannot say diversity is good and therefore we need affirmative action. Good affirmative action was how African Americans had been systematically disenfranchised in this country. And that's the only way to do it, but Democrats gave it away to everybody except white men, and that's not sustainable. That's what I was saying before the feed went down. Now, what I want to do is provide a bit of context. Before we go any further, I want to provide a bit of context. Affirmative action became law. 99% of the blacks in this country were native-born blacks. In this country, you got a mama here, probably got a grandmama, had a great-grandmama. That's who was here.
Right.
It wasn't until later that, you know, the Immigration Act was 1965 that we allowed a whole bunch more people here. So that is the context in which we're having that conversation. And basically, the group of Asian students are saying that Harvard caps high-achieving Asians. And the argument that I'm going to make is that it should. Because there has to be a space carved out for us. I don't care who you cap, but there needs to be a space capped up for us because our suffering is not the same. Our disenfranchisement is not the same. And we have to be able to weigh it and say who has suffered more and who is more deserving. And you have to carve out a space for those people, which is us. Means that somebody else has to go to a different school. You have to be able to put us first. And I'm going to try to disabuse. I've seen this myth moved around in so many spaces that you know, the Asians did it, why can't we? And they're minorities just like us. And understand that no minority group is the same. I don't care if
bruh, I just asked the question. No need to get hostile. I guess that is a sign you're doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong in my house? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. On my computer? Oh, all right. Okay. I thought you was the police. I thought you was the police. Only reason why you're still here is to see what I'm doing wrong. I see. That sounds like the police. Bruh.
like, I don't care if we all fought for something, or at one point we all fought for something similar. There is no minority group which is the same as us, which means that throughout the history, not like you got it times and you got marginalized at one point. No, what has been inflicted upon African Americans is unlike any other group. Close is Native Americans, and that was just genocide.
And see, this is the problem with this type of thinking. You know, we're African Americans, we're Africans, we are Garveyites, we are all these different features that we grab hold to. This is the kind of stuff that dilutes our power, it dilutes our unity and everything. All of these pseudonyms and nomenclatures, and we need to be Israelites. That's what we are. Israelites. We are the Most High's chosen people who are at the bottom right now. because we broke the laws of the Most High. We don't have his character. Let Inspector Gadget complete his, his investigation, Inspector Crusoe Cannon. We're gonna let him finish his investigation without any hindrance.
Genocide. That's not even like marginalization. We're just gonna kill you off. But like when you start talking about groups, I want you to be able to weigh it and not see it as just African Americans, and we're all minorities and we all minorities got to be in it together. I want you to look at that clip that I showed at the beginning to help you understand that we're not all in it together. We're going to take it from there. And you have to understand that white people in general, like the reason they know black people, even if they don't have black friends, is because of affirmative action. Affirmative action said you cannot keep discriminating against these people. You have to bring African Americans in. That's the context of how we're having this conversation. That's the small black middle class that we have. Big, because we know the middle black family has 1,700. But the people that you saw get into these companies and have these jobs, even at these factories, that is affirmative action. That is affirmative action. And what we saw by the way the law was written, even though it was triggered by us, it wasn't necessarily written specifically for us, and it wasn't weighted to have more weight in terms of what we got as opposed to what another minority group got. And what you find is that has disenfranchised us, and it has a place in this conversation that we're having about Asian Americans. Now, let me say something. Affirmative action was intended to compensate members of a deprived group. Prior losses. Compensate members of a deprived group for prior losses.
Yeah. I mean, by now we know that that's not true. I don't care what they wrote on paper about affirmative action. Affirmative action was made for white supremacists. That's what it was. It was made for white women and everybody else. That's what it's made for, y'all. We haven't benefited from no affirmative action, y'all. We're never going to benefit from any affirmative action. I don't care who they say it was for. It's been around long enough where we should be able to see the fruits of it for us, but we don't.
What's my go-to book, everybody? When Affirmative Action Was White. That's my go-to book. You have it right there? Have it right here. You gotta get it. I've used this book like 5 times. It's one of the best. I've read a few books on like affirmative. This is one of the best. It's readable. It's not anything. It's not written by Adolph Reed. I love Adolph. I love a lot of Adolph Reed stuff. Good God, talk about passing out from boredom. Whatever. But this is what it is. That is to compensate us for past losses. So when you look at something that says it's intended to compensate us for past losses, you have to ask, who lost the most? Without asking who lost the most, by asking who lost the most and answering that question. And if you ask and answer that.
Okay, it's about 10 o'clock, so I'm going to stop right there. Just want to, I like listening to a show with you all and just tackling some of the issues and themes that she brings up, and comparing that to the backdrop of us being Israelites, so we can see some of the pitfalls that is rife within her worldview. Although I like her, I think she's smart, brilliant woman, but I like her channel because she talks about some things that I otherwise would not even pass my. So I like that, you know. She talks about history. Oh, it's a Hotep. No, we not no Hotep. We Israelites. We're Israelites. We'll air Israelites. We not no Hotep. We got no hoes here. But anyway, you guys take it easy. This is Prophet Rawanawabi. Man, 13 people done jumped up in here. Okay. But if you enjoyed the broadcast, comparison, and the commentary that I gave on this blog of Breaking Brown Yvette Carnell, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, either way, and let me know what you think of the commentary. So, yeah. So I'm going to get out of here. You guys take it easy and have a wonderful night. Shalom. Oh boy. Too funny, man. Too funny. Too funny.